Oh, all right. Good morning, everybody. Or afternoon. It's 1 p.m. I say that a lot. I think that good morning just sounds a lot better than good afternoon. That's my own issue. I was upstate yesterday. I did not think that I'd be home at all today. I thought I'd be getting home much, 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 much later. I got home. My wife is at my in-laws, her parents. I figured, let's just see if we can get all of this crap out of the way, get this backlog completely done with, or at least caught up to the last couple of days. So sit back, enjoy my ramblings for the next couple of hours as I waste away my Sunday. In the good news camp, I do have a Jar Jar mask. I'm very excited about it. I've been talking about it. I asked my brother about it. My niece agreed to give it up as long as I drove it back upstate when I'm done. So I can't wait for the Jar Jar release. Until then, let's see what we got, and let's see if we can get through all of today without making any mistakes, because that's usually what happens. I end up forgetting to turn off Discord or turn off .gg. So if I start rambling about something and it sounds like the wrong frame is up, please let me know. Please call me out. I get into my own little world. I've got two screens going, and I don't always notice right away. Alan, good afternoon. How's it going? I got myself this. I didn't actually have anything in the house, but then my wife saw she bought this whiskey ginger sour apple thing. We'll see how it is. And if she gets mad at me for drinking them. All right. So let's go. .gg. First things first, right? I've got to take my timestamp. And you guys have been pretty good at reminding me about those. I'm getting better at it, I think, though. Coming from Reddit, top 20 fleets, 1 to 9 Leviathan, 10 to 20 mixed Leviathan Profundity Executor. There might be coordination, but I'm not included. I can generally hit in the top 50 and at least get some crystals. Assault battles, they look pretty good, CT2 to CT3, except for Fanatical Devotion. Currently farming a mix of shards and gear. When I get something to 7, I start gearing it and then rolling it. So basically that's just the game. He's playing the game. Shards, nothing super important, though it looks like we're doing some kind of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis thing. Gear, Cad Bane. Relics, saving for Cad Bane. I'm fairly set up in my current farms, but willing to drop something. Basically, I'm going for Cal and exec ship pilots. Planned on Mandalorians next, since I have him unlocked. I will have exec at 5 in a few days, so he probably does have it unlocked. This message, today is the 17th, this is from the 12th. So the event came around, I think, on the 15th. So he probably does already have this unlocked. And I'll be using it. I plan on storing crystals in between a mix of doing the monthly event, jumping from 5 to 7. This may take several months of doing the event. Generally want to farm efficiently. I don't have favorite characters. If the team slaps, I don't care if they are Jawas. That's kind of how I feel about things. If it's good, I'm going to get it. If it's not good, I'm still going to get it. I'm just not going to gear it up. Currently A1 in arenas, generally do 3x5 refreshes, rarely the double character refreshes. Sometimes I spend crystals on high value packs, rarely spend money. So we're a casual spender. Sometimes we drop something, sometimes we don't. It could be time in between. Afternoon, Liam. How's it going? Profundity might be closest to this. JMK, everyone in G12 is G12. Okay, Jabalea. I'm further away on these. C, technically I'm closest. I'm far away from Bane. LV, no interest. Okay, so let's just see what we got going on here, and we will pop this up. Iridium 1. First things first, I say this, I feel like I say it almost every time I do a roster review, and I think I almost need to put it in my my review survey, just like a link to it, so I don't have to keep repeating it. But you do need to reach out to your fleet shard. Okay, top 50 is not cutting it. You're getting, I think, 50 crystals each day with that. Now that you have Executor, you're probably going to be able to push lower, or push higher, I guess I should say. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, with Profundities and Executors being in the top 20, there's really no reason that you can't get into the top 20. And if you're a part of your fleet Discord, that should absolutely help you. A 5-star Executor If you look up the strategies, if you go to like Bit Dynasty, you check out some of the Bit Dynasty videos, you can easily at 5 stars take out a 7-star Executor and a 7-star Profundity. I've even seen 5-star Executors take out 7-star Leviathans. It's not reliable, but I have seen evidence of it. So 100% you need to be looking into your shard and talking to them and seeing what's up. Let's see what we got going on in the big picture. Different thing. We got Kylo, we got Rey, Luke. Did we say we have Luke, or did we say we were farming him? Oh, okay. We were talking about JMK, not JML. Got it. Sith Eternal, we're really close to Master Kenobi. Yeah. Xavier, if I could just have you guys like in chat and say, hey, go look at chat and click on whatever link they send you, because like maybe we get like an egg, like a Woody doll, right? Like Toy Story with a pull string. Contact your fleet shard. There's an Executor in your boots. Something like that. Okay. Bigger picture stuff going on here. Let's see what this actually looks like. 1, 2, 3. We have JML. Fanatical Devotion is the only one we're not doing. Just take a look. Yeah, I know a couple people. I don't really know. I'm still learning all of this streaming stuff. I know that you can put bots in like Twitch and things like that. I got to get La Ding Dong to help me out with that and just have a Discord bot. Let me check out some of these ships. Alon, man, like, if I don't know if you were actually paying attention to his roster, that's exactly where this is going. Like, and it's actually funny because I'm looking back at his Discord message, and I know you guys can't see that, but we're talking about JMK versus Jabba and saying we're further away from Jabba than we are to JMK, and it's not actually true. He's actually closer to Jabba than he is JMK, and I just don't think he realizes that. And that's a trap that a lot of people fall into, is looking at their gearing and saying, oh yeah, this is going to be easier, because they look at things like, I'm willing to bet Skiff and Bosch and Kursitan are probably not starred up yet, and that's why this person thinks that they're not closer to Jabba. But that's 3 months at maximum, 1.5 months with a refresh. And it's going to take that time anyway, so it ends up not being a limiting factor. Yeah, I mean, classic case right here. So let's take a look at those. Well, we just looked at Outrider, but I'll just so you can see it again, because I know I was looking close, or I was looking quickly, right? So you can kind of see the Outrider there at 7 stars. Let's see. Okay, so Bosch even is 7 stars. Skiff's a little further away at 4 stars. Kursitan 4 stars. Again, Kursitan's easy because he's a Cantina farm. It can be daunting because he's a Cantina farm. You don't want to stop signal data. But this is where I say it constantly. Do like 3 or 4 battles a day. 2 or 3 battles a day. So that by the time you actually do have to stop your signal data to get him, it's not going to be as long. It's not going to be as daunting. It's not going to psychologically affect you or feel like it's affecting you as much. Actually, I want to just check out this. One more thing. Tarful, Saw, okay, Seer, Marin, and Tarful, Saw, Seer, Marin, Baby Cal, right? Okay. So we have Baby Cal and Marin, and we see that Saw is at 5 stars. Tarful, I think, is 5 stars too, right? And Seer, Tarful, was it Seer? Yeah, and Seer's at 6 stars. So this is going to be interesting advice to give you that that some people might disagree with up until they hear the full thought. I think that right now you should actually stop your Jedi Knight Cal Kestis farm. And not because it's not a good farm, but because you're far enough away from that farm, unless you're planning to buy shards. That event's coming back in 3 days. It's going to be here for 7 days. So you have 10 days to farm. Unless you go like balls to the walls on it, it's not happening, and you're not going to get Jedi Knight Cal Kestis before he becomes accelerated, or before he becomes permanent. So I think we should reprioritize all of that energy that you're using on that farm right now until each of those things becomes accelerated, right? Some people might disagree with me there, but the point is that because it's limited and because you won't get it on its next run, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, and you're working for your energy versus letting your energy work for you. I'm going to trademark that because I like the way that sounds. As those things become accelerated, yeah, start them up again. But you're close enough to them where once they do become accelerated, you will get them before he becomes permanent, and it's not going to be an issue for you. Your two major key things here that I would work with, you're not as close to JML or JMK as you really think you are in comparison to other GL farms. JMK is he's essentially a delete button. If you have Cat, and we'll take a look at that first before I kind of show you this. Yeah, we have Cat, not even geared up yet. So he is a delete button, and he's really good at Conquest for that, and he's really good in GAC for that. But outside of that, you're not really seeing any ROI on your account. So we look at Jedi Master Kenobi, and this is not an exact science looking at this, but this gives me a kind of a gauge of how far you are, since relic material and gearing becomes the limiting factor a lot of the times. So we look at this for JMK, right? And I like to look at carbonite circuit boards as kind of not as the end-all be-all, but just like as the greater picture, since every relic farm is going to need them. You need 1740 carbonate circuit boards for JMK. Jabba, you need only 1530, so you're actually closer to Jabba than you are to Jedi Master Kenobi, right? Even as we go far into like the Zimbiddle crystals, into the higher level stuff, you need half as much for Jabba. Qursatan and Skiff, they're not going to be problematic for you at all. I would just do your 5 battles a day on Skiff. I would do 3 or 4 battles a day on Qursatan right now until you start to get closer to Jabba. So until you get to the point where you maybe only have like 3 or 4 characters left to relic, then you can cut off the rest of your relics and just kind of spearhead him. That's why I love Cantina farms, is that you can make them as fast or as slow as you really need to or you really want to. In this case, start it slow so it's psychologically you're in a good place. It's so much better of a tool for the account where you are in the game. If I remember correctly, it's somewhere around 7 million. Jabba the Hutt is going to provide you with Smuggler's Run 2, and for a mid to late to end game account, it is hands down the best ROI event in this game. Right? People mess around, they joke around with me. We have catchphrases going on the chat right now. And they're joking because I say these things all the time to people, right? Where Leia is not like a super big deal, even though some people might think that she is. And you kind of fall into that trap a little bit. Jabba is much better. Go for Jabba right now. And I would go so far as to say, and Xavier kind of said this in the chat earlier, I would go so far as to say go for Profundity as well next. Right? Go for Jabba, go for Profundity. You already have Outrider. You're actually not that far away from it. It'll give you a second GL fleet. It'll give you a newer GL fleet, which will be more future-proof than Executor is going into the next fleet meta. So those really should be your prime priority. Again, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis we'll see around June, July. So you have plenty of time to get there. And when you start to get to that point, you can make the choice to divert your gear a little bit towards that if you really want to. You only need to get those characters to G12 which makes it essentially an easy event. People ask in our Discord constantly, or a couple times really, how hard is that event? It's not hard. It's honestly, it's super easy to do at G12. It's not a big problem. I think the hardest tier is Merrin's. I can't really compare though, because I did it with an R9 Merrin. So it's not something that I can talk about. It was easy for me. But I've seen it all over Reddit. I've seen it all over Discord that everything in that event is super easy. I think that needs to be your priority for now. Skip the JMK. You want to do that later, that's fine. Jabba, hands down your priority. Stop Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis until those things start to accelerate for the reasons I kind of gave you before. And then go for Profundity. The last thing I kind of want to look at here is just your guild. Let me just check your GP again, because I thought you were higher, but maybe you're not. No, I don't want to join Premium. I should. Really, I should. Maybe we could have like Egnards incorporated and I can make it a business expense. Then my accountant will kill me. Yeah, listen, if you're in a 260, 280 million guild at the point in the game that you're at, either you don't realize you could be in a much better guild, or you love the people you're playing with and you're happy with playing with them. If you want to go to a higher guild, you might want to start thinking about Inquisitors, because you are at a point where guilds are going to start expecting that. But because of the guild that you're in, it's not going to really be something that needs to be on your agenda. So that's kind of for you to decide. But Jabba Profundity, then Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, you should be in a good place with that. Solo, yeah, I was upstate all weekend. I really didn't even expect to be on today. We have so many roster reviews to get through. I'm home. My wife's not home. She's not going to be home all day. I figured, what the hell, let me just pop on, get as much of these things done as I humanly and possibly can. Alright, let's move on. I was just checking my Alliance server real quick, because I saw they had some kind of announcement. I don't know. I wasn't fully paying attention. Let's pop GG back off the screen. Let's take our timestamp, shall we? 21:32. Let's see what we got going on here. Vemrose. Hello, seen you giving advice on Reddit. It's highly regarded. Sometimes it really depends on who you're asking if it's highly regarded or not. Please take a look at my roster. Advice and roasts are both okay. I don't really necessarily think I generally roast people, unless I'm drunk or you specifically ask for it, but I try not to. Fleet, 3 Leviathans, 3 Profundities, all there's executors. No communication, no idea if there is a chat. We'll get to that in a second. CT3 on most of these. Places of Power is a CT2, that's notable. Secrets and Shadows, Fanatical Devotion, that makes sense. Current plan is Leviathan, Vander Chewie to finish the Dash Team, Traya, Shard Farming finished, Iden, Shard Farming finished, Jabba, Farm Tunes while finishing 1 to 4. Okay, so we're kind of on the right track. I really try not to roast people. I try to be nice. People think I'm mean. I'm not. I want to help people. That's all I want to do. I want to help you guys out. But mine is only set on Leviathan since I already did both R9s. Alright, so you're pretty close. I just got into Kyber. I feel I don't have enough roster depth. Hence the Dash. Dash Tray at Iden. I don't mind changing my farming plans if there's a better recommendation. I value efficiency over fun farms. However, I do at some point want to finish my Treya teams, as KOTOR is my favorite game. Alright, let's see what we got here. Bones, brother, how's it going, man? We are going double time today. We're trying to get as much of this as we can get done. G8 Reva, third, I always say Reva, it's Reva. Third sister, she's good. Like, she's really good. If she's at G8 in your roster, then either you're completely out of materials or you're misfiguring your gearing and where you should be. Kyber 4, 6 million. Okay, that's not bad. we're hitting 1, which is good. We're hitting it, and as we finish Leviathan, that'll be a lot easier. Once again, you should be reaching out. Reach out to people. I have a video. It's literally 4 minutes long. Put it on double time. Watch it in double speed. I don't freaking care. It'll show you how to reach out to these people. It makes your life so much easier. Yes, you might be hitting first now, but it's probably taking you more battles than it would take if everybody were kind of working together to make sure that everybody was getting their ranks. So, but we're not going to touch that because I know you're working on Leviathan. Yes, Leviathan is a good priority to have. That's not a problem. You did mention working on Jabba. Skiff's almost there. If you're refreshing it, don't bother. You don't need to. Bosch, I mean, start your Bosch farm. Only 3 stars. I would say if you haven't started it yet, definitely start slow farming your Bosch farms. It sounds like you're far enough away from the farm itself where it's not going to hinder you at all, but you definitely should be putting some time into that. Treya, Iden, Jabba. Alright. I'm always losing my train of thought on these things. You know what? Let's get an idea of... No, I want to... It's my ADD, man. It just kind of jumps me all over the place. Let's see how these guys are doing for places of power. You have Nellis. I mean, CT2 is fine for right now. Once you farm that Treya team up, not the whole team itself, you're still going to want to do Papa Palp lead, but Nihilus, Nihilus really, he supercharges that team to where you can CT3 it without too much issue. So that shouldn't be the biggest problem for you, and it is what it is. I'm not going to focus on it. It's not, the ROI doesn't make sense. Okay, we're nowhere near on that. Let's see what these Inquisitors are fucked, but that's fine. Oh, I shouldn't be saying that, but whatever. Did say I wasn't going to roast anybody. Okay, Leviathan's a hard number 1, which is fine. You already seem to know what you're doing with that one, which is okay. It's a little further than Profundity, but it's going to be way more future-proof. So if you already have the R9s, can you keep down that route. Treya, so you're probably buying the shards for that. Iden. Yeah, okay. Vander, let's see how Vander is. What kind of farm is Vander? Does anyone know off the top of their head? Let's find out. I'll look in game. Should be just a Chewy tag. So many of those freaking guys in this game. Vander, Chewbacca. Oh, he's a hard node. Okay. Alright, so if you have the rest of the Dash team going, that's fine. I would slow farm it, though. I would do your 5 battles on that a day. I would do your 5 battles on Skiff a day. I would do your 5 battles on Bosch a day. Again, with Cursatan, I would maybe do 3 to 4 battles a day, just so it's less daunting later on. It'll make it feel easier when you only have to cut off your signal data for like a week instead of 2 to 3 weeks. Trey is a really good team. I would slow farm Nihilus, get him to 7 stars if you really want to do Treya. But I would switch my priorities around here. And I would go Leviathan is your number 1 priority. Jabba is your number 2 priority. Vander, Treya would be your number 3 priority. Iden is your 4th/5th priority. So I would just switch it around. And what you'll notice is, you know, you're going to get to points in your Jabba farm where you're gated by one thing, and then you can go add gear on Treya, you know, while you're waiting for relics. Again, Jabba is just a really high ROI character. Leviathan is, I don't want to say it's going to be a really high ROI GL ship for you just because you're already doing first place, but it is also going to help you in GAC. So, that there is some ROI behind that one, and it'll make climbing in fleet maybe a little easier or a little bit more reliable, or you'll stay at the top a little bit more, so that might help you a little bit when you have not as much time. But I would do it Leviathan, Jabba, because Jabba is going to help you with all of those other farms, right? A lot of people don't really, and I notice I don't always look at modding, and I very rarely look at modding because modding is so subjective in terms of luck. But the reality is that luck also is ingrained in just how much you roll things, or how much you buy things, or how much you use that energy to get more things. So the more rolls you have, the more chances you have at higher stuff. So Jabba's going to help you with Treyas. She's going to help you with Dash by providing you the materials to roll all of their mods. Trey is a great team. I use her constantly in GSC. I think it's a good idea. Her and Neelis are going to help you with places of power CT3, though that's not really a priority. I think you need to shift around your priority there. Oh geez, do we not even? I would also say, man, this is maybe the time to start thinking about going for gas. Right, like, this is the time. You already have a Relic Grievous, which means if you're worried about roster depth, having a fleshed out GG team and also having a gas for your JML team, and I only say that because I imagine that these guys are not up there yet, right? But that you can work on a little bit more in the future. But as you start to finish up Leviathan, and as you start to finish up Jabba, and as you're going into Treya and Vandermoor, and you're looking for a next project, I think that gas is a fairly quick, cheap one for you. I would even go so far as to say start slow farming Droid Dukat and Battle Droid now, B1, so that by the time you get there, you won't need to wait. They are great relics to have. Droid Dukat Omicron for TW is a high priority one for guilds that care even a little bit about TW. Even like the semi-competitive guilds that aren't like crazy about TW, they love the Droid Dukat Omicron. But I think that the prize here is gas, and I think that if you're worried about roster depth, gas is hands down one of the best no non-GL teams in the game, and there's some that are kind of catching up because of Omicrons. There's no Omicron on a gas team, so if we were to say the best non-GL Omicron team, I think he still reigns supreme and he still works really well, and he's one of the ones that I think that you really need to start going for. So that's kind of how I would do it, is I would rearrange what you're doing just a little bit. You're on the right track, just kind of shift the pieces a little bit. And consider putting gas in there, and then I think you're pretty much in good shape. All right, let's drink some water and move on. Oof. 32-30. And look, so far I have not screwed up, and I have remembered to do this. Yeah, Xavier, I don't know if I've seen your account. People, it's funny because what happens is people message me like a month later on Discord and they ask me about a follow-up, and they think that I kind of like remember their roster, and I'm like, in that time I've seen 75 other rosters, so I almost need to like do a full thing anyway. So I don't know what your GP level is just off the top of my head, but he's a solid, really versatile tune, because even if you don't have 501st, he slots really well into a JMK team. He slots really well into a JML team. You can solo with him earlier on, okay? You're not going to get away with that in probably Iridium, and you're definitely not getting away with that in Kyber. And you can slot him into a Jedi Master Luke team. So he does pretty well. I drink water sometimes. I've got my not water too. I'm trying to pace myself. My nieces call me Drunkle, so that should I had a lot yesterday. Trying to pace it. Hey Egnards, big fan. Star Wars profile. Fleet Arena, 10-ish Leviathans, a few profundities. The rest are executors with a few chimeras. I have no communication with my fleet chart. I haven't looked into it. I just pushed to the top 20 for fleet crystals a little before my payout. Alright, you know what I'm going to say. You need to reach out. Reach out to your fleet Discord. Talk to them. I bet you that there is a fleet. I bet you that there is a fleet Discord set up. I promise you. And if there isn't, set one up. It's so easy. I've shown this on stream before. It's not like a talking channel, right? Like, this is my fleet Discord group. It's just a payout bot. Like, it just kind of updates every couple of hours and kind of tells you what's going on. Mine's in a couple hours. All right. So let's see. Oh, I got to scroll back up. I forgot. Every time you switch servers, you got to scroll back up. Assault battles. Okay, we're doing pretty good on these. We'll take a look to see if we can shore them up a little bit. Working on Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, then plan to move on to Jabba or Leia. Jabba. I haven't even looked at your roster yet, but Jabba over Leia. I've also thought about filling out some other teams and waiting for the next GL or GL ship to be announced. Definitely not dead set on a plan after Jedi Knight Cal. I try to make the most efficient decisions for my rosters, save for a few ROTE farms. I get that. You're the dumb sap that had to do Jedi Knight Guardian. I have an R9 Mon Mothma and an R9 Hoth Rebel Soldier, so we're in the same camp. You got to do what your guild says. You got to be a team player. Okay. That's just how it is, right? That's the name of the game. All right, let's take a look. Pop this back over to GG. Iridium 1, 8 million account. Have profundity. Now, and again, I'll say this because I'm just looking at what you said. Push the top 20, 10-ish Leviathans, a few profundities. I can't corroborate this. I haven't tried this. I know that there are videos on this. Bit Dynasty probably has it. And if you don't have the video, hit up Bones on Discord. He is Bit Dynasty's biggest fan, so I'm sure he has the video kind of queued up. But I've been told that if you take Mark 6 and you put it into the opening lineup of Profundity, it's not like a 100% reliable counter to Leviathan, but it is a serviceable counter to the Leviathan that can maybe help you get some more fleet crystals. Again, Bones, hit him up on Discord. He's on our Discord. Tag him. Be like, hey, Bones, can you get me that Bit Dynasty video? He loves that. It's his favorite. 1, 2, 3, probably hyperdrive, not hyperdrive bundle, lightspeed bundles. I love you, man. Just kidding. I love you. Well, you're not gonna be able to counter that just yet at 5 stars, but you know, keep doing what you're doing. You know, if you reach out, yes, make a shard Discord. I will fight you on that to the death. If you reach out and you're not able to break the top 10, it's not worth hitting 7 right now with Profundity because you're just gonna hit your head against the wall. But if you do reach out and they are like, hey, yeah, cool, you can join us, 7-star might be worth it for that. So keep doing what you're doing in that regard for right now. I'll tell you what, the day that you farm your Bad Batch and you get all of your Bad Batch to R5, okay, the day you get all of your Bad Batch to R5, I will R9 my JML. I will give you, let's say, it is March 7th, April, May, June, July, August, September. By September, you do it by September, I will R9 my JML. Let's see, Mark 6. Okay, we're farming it. Dagger. Didn't think so, but had to check. You can tell all the 3 scoundrels by September. We have Malgus. No Malgus yet, so Leviathan's off the table just for right now. Gakel, let's see, Seer, so... Okay, fair. September 31st. 30 days says... No, what the there's only 30 days in September. Don't you know the song? 30 days has September, April, June, November. What kind of idiot do you think that I am? September 31st never comes around. September 30th. Trying to push me into the old one, too. Skiff. Why am I... Dude, R9JML, that's like my one sticking point. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. At least Bad Batch will be useful to you. It'll help you so much. Stop distracting me. I'm trying to help this guy. Rebel Roundup, Forest Moon, Places of Power. Alright, let's check this out. Trying to be helpful, man. Ark, I'll tell you what, ask me that once I finish this review. I'll explain my reasoning for no R9ing JML, because it is a big reason. We were chatting about it on Discord yesterday, on our Discord, and if you guys are not on our Discord, it's in our Twitch, it is in our YouTube, and it's a great little place, and as I've been saying, by the end of the year, it's going to be the #2 most important server. Okay, so we don't need to prioritize this. Let's see what the Night Sisters are doing. Alright, we're doing CT1 with that. That's pretty good. Well, you're probably doing it with these guys. Yeah, with Captain Rex. Okay. Rebel Roundup, Forest Moon. Let's see what our Imperial Troopers are doing. We talked about it pretty in-depth, and I was a few beers in at that point. Veerstark Piet, Range Trooper, maybe even a Moff Gideon. I've never done it with Moff Gideon, but you could probably CT3 Forest Moon if you just do a quick remod for the event and make everybody as fast as possible. I did it with Snow Trooper at G12, and because it's all core gear, that might be worth it for you to do. But that's just a quick, super easy, fast thing that you might want to consider for Forest Moon. Okay, so in your notes, Xavier, thanks for joining us, man. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day. In your notes, you're telling me you want to go Jabba or Leia next, and the answer is Jabba. Leia's a trap. They're both good, right? I'm not saying Leia's bad. Leia is good. She's just as good as any other GL. She's awesome. But she doesn't really have any good ROI behind her, and you're still in an ROI part of the game. Jabba has so much return on investment with Smuggler's Run 2 that you will be seeing dividends for years. The sooner you do the Jabba event, the better. You need to go for Jabba before you go for Leia. I gave you a quick, so if you take, Snow Trooper up, doing Forest Moon CT3, don't worry about Rebel Roundup CT3 because Jabba's going to help you with that, right? Jabba will allow you to do that, so that's not a big deal, and then you'll have pretty much all of your assault battles mostly in order. But Jabba is so far superior to Leia as a GL for being like a backbone of an account. So I would highly recommend doing that. We got some big stuff going on here. Cal Kestis, Profundity, Leviathan. I don't think you're in a bad place if you decide you want to hoard after doing Jabba, because Jabba will take you a couple months, all right? It might take you 3 to 5 months, and at that point we will know more about the next GL or the next fleet. So if you're thinking and your heart is kind of like, I'm not sold on other things, then I wouldn't blame you for doing that. But I think we'll actually get that news before it comes to that point. So I do think go for Jabba right now. Do that little thing for Forest Moon that we talked about. And then, let's see some of your little things. Maybe this is time for just some little projects to see. to see what we have going on. So let's check them out. Revan, maybe bring Revan up a couple relic levels, just for your JML team. Yeah, and Solo, that brings a good point. When you're doing Leia, you have to pull a lot, and with Jabba, you have a built-in team. Let's see. Let's do Sith Empire as a whole. After Jabba, it might be a good time to start bringing your Sith Empire up a little bit. I can imagine that you'll probably be getting closer to Malgus at that point, right? So kind of bringing these guys up a little bit will be really helpful. It'll also be helpful to you if we decide when the next fleet comes out that it's out of your reach, because Fury class is also going to be improving grounds in this next cycle. So this is a really good option as well after Jabba to kind of start working on your Sith Empire a little bit. I definitely would recommend doing that. It's a good team, and it'll provide you a nice pivot point when we get to that point. Okay, and I'm just curious. You have Skywalker already. Okay. And it might be time, these are all subjective little things. GG is a really solid team for GAC. I've heard Stop is pretty killer with the Omicron. I don't know yet. I haven't seen any of the footage. But GG is a solid team for TW, is a solid team for GAC. I don't really use them in TB at all. They are a really solid team in Conquest as well, especially when you have to do no GL. So this is another smaller project that might be an option for you. But I think Sith Eternal or Sith Empire is a higher priority. So after Jabba, if we still don't have news, shoring up some older, smaller farms might be a good idea if that's kind of what you're thinking. And then at that point, you can decide, do I want to pivot to the new GL or do I want to loop back around to an old GL? I would say at that point, that might be the point where you want to go for Leia, if we don't get news that we're happy about or that you're happy about in terms of a next GL. Who was asking me about Jedi Master Luke at R9? It was Arc Trooper. All right, so Arc, here's my reasoning why I don't do JML to R9 and why I will only do it in terms of this bet with Bones 88. I am not a GAC player. I am in K2. I turtle. I do. I'm always in K2. I put every single GL on defense. And I generally hover about the top of K2, the mid K2 to top K2. I am not at all discounting that JML at R9 is good. I understand that it makes him a lot better by completely, really increasing his protection pool. However, because I'm not climbing in GAC, and because I don't have a desire to climb in GAC, I fall into that 50% win rate, where I might lose 3 in a row, but then I'm going to win 5 in a row. So I might lose some short-term crystals, but I end up making them back. And JML does everything I need him to do in Conquest, in territory battles, and in TB, or in TW. So while it does increase the character, it doesn't help my account. And that's not to say that JML to R9 isn't right for some people, but as a player who just doesn't want to devote the time to GAC right now, it just doesn't help me in the same way that it would help, somebody else. So that's kind of, it is a sticking point for me. But like I said to Bones, I made the bet, and if he does bring up his Bad Batch, who he really hates and refuses to do, I will bring up my JML to R9. All right, and that's as simple as it is. Let's move on. 48. I see, I'm in the roster review channel on Discord right now, and I see like 4 different people typing, so I'm like, oh boy, as I finish these, more people are are posting requests for roster reviews. I'll never get ahead of this. Whew. Okay, so this is a newer account. Let's see, let's see if I can help you. This is not really my area of expertise, but let's see if we can do something here. If the batch get a lights, I should have stipulated that you had to farm them and not a bundle, but I didn't. So if that's what happens, then that's my fault. Okay, let's check this out. I'm really pleased if you could provide a roster review. I'm a returning player who left the game before GL's life just got in the way. I've come back due to the sunset of Lord of the Rings. So yeah, R.I.P. Lord of the Rings. My current plan is SLKR. I went first order, first time around. So it seems a good idea to carry this on. I have a few characters to finish off and lots of bounty hunter ships. However, lots of bounty hunter ship work to do. However, I've probably got enough energy for other projects, and that's where I'd like your advice. Although if you think SLKR isn't the way to go, I'm all ears. I'm free to play, but decent gem income, so room to refresh a note or two and refresh campaign energy. I'd also appreciate any advice on getting past G12. The gear farm seems impossible to G13. Now, what I am going to say to Angry Gamer Dad here is the early game is not really my area of expertise. And there are definitely better resources for early game than me. I know Darth Loquitur has some really great early game guides that people swear by. I think Fat Phil has some really great early game guides that people swear by. So I'm going to try to help you out here, maybe with more advice than actual pathing or like little bit pathing. But I do recommend looking at those people as the better authority for the smaller picture stuff. Solo, that's a great question, but you know what? As much as Bones just screwed me by saying that a bundle counts, I'm going to say that Omega counts too, because she is tagged as Bad Batch in the game, and that is a full and concise team. The only stipulation that I will say there is that we're talking about a full Bad Batch team. So if for some reason Crosshair comes out in 3 months and Bones happens to get Crosshair before September, 2 fully farmed Relic R5, then I will allow him to not have to do Omega. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's see how we can help out. See if we can do anything to help out. Okay. Let's see how bad we are in here. Okay, so we are free to play. All right, this is going to be a quick one. This is going to be a quick one because, again, this is not... yeah, so Ark, this is actually what we were talking about on Discord yesterday, is that other than this bet, my guild is at a point where we are in the R9 planets, but we're not really prioritizing the combats yet because the platoons are more important than the combats. But when we are really prioritizing the combats, JML will be a higher priority character for me because he will help me in multiple game modes as opposed to just being a one-trick pony. So this review is going to be a fairly quick one because, again, this is not my area of expertise. Fat Phil's got stuff on this. Darth Loquitur has stuff on this. I'm just going to kind of provide you some guidance. When you quit the game, SLKR, well, you quit the game before GLs, but there was a point in this game where SLKR was the definitive first GL because there was a lot of ROI behind him, primarily because of the old rating system, and the old rating system no longer exists. That has thrown SLKR to the bottom of my list in terms of priority for GLs. Is it the very bottom? I don't think so, but he's pretty low on my list. Now, we have these Lightspeed bundles that come out for $10. They have these Lightspeed bundles that only come out and they're like for $10, and when people buy those, that adds some priority to SLKR and to Ray, simply because it gives you so much of the farm beforehand and you end up being so close to it. SLKR provides very little ROI, and it's a mostly self-contained GL farm. The one nice thing about it is the Echelon, the Finalizer farm provides you a counter meta to Executor if you additionally farm the Echelon. Okay, so it's not necessarily the worst move in the world. As an early game player, one of the things you really want to do is think about turning some of the parts of this game into almost like an idle game. So you want your account to work for you by building the ROI on the back end of being able to do events on sim, so that you're getting resources quicker from events that you're currently not able to do. One of the biggest and most important ones of those is CT1 of 5 out of the 7 assault battles. So the 2 that I don't prioritize are Fanatical Devotion, which is Inquisitors and Tuscans, and Secrets and Shadows, which is Phoenix and Night Sisters. All of the other 5 have a pretty good ROI behind them. What I personally believe is that the best route for an early game player as GLs is C/Executor to start, and then to move into JML, and then to move into Jabba. And the reason that I say that is that there is some overlap between C and Executor, okay? So that's going to kind of allow you to build out your first GL ship. And it's also going to give you a GL that it doesn't automatically give you CT3 on 3 of the assault battles, but it gives you a good basis or a strong amount of what you need to finish 3 out of the 5 of them. All right, so that would be Places of Power, that would be Forest Moon, and that would be Rebel Roundup. After you would go for C Executor, I recommend JML, because JML is going to give you the other 2 that you need, which is Military Might and Ground War. He's also a really solid GL in the early to mid game. He's great at the end game too, but there's a lot of counters to him, so some people devalue him a little bit. I don't think it's right. But this is also the part in the game where you're going to start really more seriously thinking about conquest, and JML is the strongest conquest character. And then I recommend going into Jabba, because Jabba has the best ROI event in the game, which is Smuggler's Run 2. The only reason, so Ark in chat is saying maybe JML Jabba first. The only reason why I don't suggest that route, well, I guess Jabba, JML, it kind of is the same thing, but a lot of people say JML first, and the reason that I don't suggest that is Hermit Yoda Wampa, and Rebel Officer Leia. And you're going to need that for Jedi Knight Luke, which is going to be part of both the Jabba and the JML journey, and that's going to significantly slow you down. Those are 3 things rather, that you can work on while you're working on C and while you're working on Executor. So the advice that I can offer you is to really think about the back-end return on investment of what you're investing in. They are more available. But I think that you're going to see a better return from C And one of the deprioritizations that people talk about with C is that he's not a great GL. And he is now with Bane, even though at the high end you don't use him with Bane anyway. At that level of the game, any GL is a good GL. Okay? Any GL is a good GL. What I will say, and I will remind you of, though, is that I am not an early game expert. So I'm not telling you to rush those things. All right? I'm not saying, hey, you should rush to C, you should rush to Executor. There are smaller farms you should go for. I'm not well versed in those, and I'm not going to pretend I'm well versed in those. And people like Darth Loquitur, people like Fat Phil, people like Nooch, they have a better idea of the very early game, because they do play younger accounts, and they do play free-to-play accounts, and they do restart, and they play that through. I don't do it. I don't have the time for that. I don't want to do it. So I'm giving you more generalized advice of what to consider and what to think of. I think that they are going to be a better resource for you. In response to Nooch and his 1 year, 1 month from 0 to Jabba, there's a couple things we need to keep in mind. Number one, when you are a content creator who's been playing the game for 8 years, you're going to make far less mistakes than somebody who's newer to the game, or who's returning to the game 5 years later. Number two, a lot of these guys, I don't know about Nooch specifically. I do know, I was talking to Calvin Awesome, and he was explaining to me, no, it wasn't Cal, it was somebody else, was explaining to me Arnold, when he started his free-to-play, he didn't put it in a bigger guild, but I know a lot of these guys put their free-to-plays in guilds a little higher than they should be in. But the third thing is, when you're building a free-to-play account as a fun second thing, and you're thinking about being as lean as possible, you're not necessarily thinking about the best account possible. You're thinking about, hey, what can I do to create content? And what can I do to produce clicks? And what can I do that will be exciting for my viewership? And I'm not taking exception to any of that. I'm just saying that those are things that you need to consider when saying, hey, this is possible, versus, well, is that actually the right path? And I don't think it is. But I do think that those guys are going to have a better idea of the very, very, very early game, and you're going to get better small farm advice from them. So I don't want to spend too much time on something giving you advice that I don't feel comfortable or that I can stand behind. On Discord, you are on our Discord, there are plenty of people who are in the earlier game or who do play alts, and they will be able to help you out as well. So you are also welcome to ask questions about those smaller accounts, or those smaller or more free-to-play friendly, or like lower end things that somebody might be doing. So we're going to move on from there, and I'm happy to always answer your questions. I just don't think for where you are in the game, I'm the best resource to give you the minutia. Let's see, 102. Oh, my wife is texting me. What does she want? Bop in their heads. Apparently my in-laws are all Taylor Swift fans now. Go figure. I guess they're watching that thing on the movie or whatever on Disney Plus. Not sponsored. Okay, repost to my roster from Nena. Oh man, I think that this person actually sent me a PM. I'm really hoping so, because otherwise we're going into this blind. Let's see. Oh god. Alright, I guess we're going into this one blind. We're gonna just we're just gonna see what we can do and see what we can guess. Let's pop this back up. We know nothing about this person. We know nothing about their account. They are a Kyber 2 player. Yeah, listen, I'm a Swiftie. I am. Not sponsored by Swift. I would love that. My wife would love that. But I have no problem saying that I'm a Swiftie. We went to the Eras tour. We got face value tickets. My wife she works from home. She sat at the computer and on like her phone, on her computer, and on her work computer trying to get these tickets. We luckily got them, and there's a few pictures of me in my I paid $30 online to have a shirt made that is just a plain black shirt that says "This is my fancy Eras tour outfit" on the back, and my wife and her best friend got really mad at me and her best friend's husband because all of the people at the pre-games, they didn't care about their fancy outfits. They kept coming up to take pictures of us because they wanted pictures of our funny shirts. All right, let's see. Going off topic. Best Taylor Swift song. Go. What is it? Who's got one? Okay, we're off metaing this. All right. Consistently. Good, good, good. We actually, Bones, we went to the concert and my wife paid for us both to go to the movie. And I gotta tell you, honestly, I really thought I was gonna hate the movie because I don't like rewatching things. But we were sitting in the back, we had a couple of drinks at the bar beforehand. And it was just really, really cool to see. There was like a group of like 10-year-old girls sitting next to us who probably did not get to see the show. And they were just so pumped. And like they were jumping up and down and singing out the songs. And it was just really cool experience to see how excited they were. So I had a lot of fun at the movie too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is probably... I'm surprised 8 million GP and only 3 GL. That's crazy to me. And I got to give you props. No Leviathan, and you're hitting nicely with that off-meta counter. It looks like we're trying to go maybe for Leviathan, which would be not a terrible idea to have. Yes, it was in theaters for like a month. It did really well. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, Sith Eternal, Kenobi, don't. You're kind of... This is one of those accounts that it's almost like you tried hard not to get GL. Because I look at things and I'm like, wait, you're like pretty close to all these things. Why didn't you just pull the trigger? It's just interesting to look at. Jabba, Profundity. You need to calm down. You're being too da 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 da. Sticks and stones never break my bones. So I'm trying to figure out the name of that song. Oh, you're being too loud. I don't know the name of the song. Is it You Need to Calm Down? Oh, all right, I got it. That is the name. You couldn't think of it quickly. You just wanted to hear me sing the chorus and see if I knew it. Jabba, Leviathan, Sith Eternal, Grand Inquisitor. Let's see what we got here. Get what you're saying now. Did you get Bane? No, did not get Bane. Okay, and just take a look at where these guys are. Okay. Take one more check at this. Did I not see Leviathan unlocked? Am I still... man, my reading comprehension. Are you just waiting for the event? You must just be waiting for the event. Yeah, okay. So you're just waiting for the event. Alright, so I'm not dumb. I am dumb. Yes, I am. I'm very much allowed to like Taylor Swift. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Long Live is my favorite song, by the way, in case anyone cares. No one asked, but it's fine. This is a classic case of a Jabba. You need to go for Jabba. Leviathan you'll have on the 20th. I think that's when it comes around. It's either the 20th or the 21st. You 100% need to go for Jabba. You need to do it now. You're not that far from it. You already have Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. The ROI on the mods for Jabba is just beyond great, to the point where it just does not make sense not to do it at this point. Let's see what our guild is doing. Well, let's take a look at this too. Your guild is probably not going to heavily prioritize the new raid, so you probably don't have to worry too much about the Gungans. You might want to do them if you want to. But Jabba would be my main priority here, and then this is actually a hot take for myself, because it's so very rare that I recommend this, but this might be the time for you to go for Jedi Master Kenobi after you do Jabba, right? Jabba is... No, I can't jump to the chief. Sorry, go screw yourself, man. Jabba is not too far away. The ROI on the event is super high. Jedi Master Kenobi, you're pretty close to it, and you have Cat already, so it doesn't make sense not to. The only other thing that I don't know anything about, because you didn't give it to me, is our kind of ROI on everything else. So we're going to just take a little dive into that. You have Jedi Master Luke, so you should be doing CT3 on Military Might. You should be doing CT3 on Ground War. Sith, I think I saw... Where is it? Yeah, so we're doing CT3 on Places of Power. Jabba will give you CT3 on Rebel Roundup. If you bring Veers, if you're not already doing this, because I'm just guessing based off of what I'm seeing, if you're not already doing this, Veers to G12, Range to G12, and maybe Snow to G12. So that's all core gear. Nothing limiting, right? Nothing that's going to cost you anything or be problematic for you. You'll probably be able to do Forest Moon at CT3 as well. You might be doing it with something else. I don't think you can do it without Reva if you're doing Inquisitors, and we don't have that yet. Okay. And let's just... Yeah, so you might be doing CT1 or CT2 on Forest Moon, but that's just a nice, quick way to do it with Imperial Troopers. Leviathan you're going to have on the 20th. I think that you need to do Jabba, and then Jedi Master Kenobi is probably your next bet. That's your best bet. Because of your guild, you probably do not need to prioritize the Gungans. If you want to go for Queen Amidala, you're probably going to at least try to prioritize that a little bit. We don't know what old teams are going to be doing well in the raid, but based on your current raid scores, your guild is most likely either going to see a similar score, or they're going to see a better score with or without you heavily prioritizing things. But I think that those are the two most important farms for you right now, especially kind of being in K2, right? I give you props being in K2 with so few GL. That's really, it's kind of crazy to me being where you are in K2 with as few GL as you have. So now it's time to kind of shore up those things a little bit. because they will really, really, really help you. Die Hard Broncos, man. This is my streaming shirt. My Broncos. Just want to check. Let's see. Yeah, good. Iden's got it. You have the Radis one. What about? You have the Zori one. You have Treya. Okay, you have Treya. Okay. Yeah, I mean, right now I would do Jabba, and I would do Jedi Master Kenobi afterwards. And I'll be honest, I almost never, ever recommend Jedi Master Kenobi to anybody. It is so beyond rare that I do that. So when I do that, it's notable because I never do. So we're going to move on from here. We're going to move on to this next one. Guys, what I need to do is I'm going to take about 60 seconds. My wife entrusted me with laundry. I need to go change over the laundry because I'll be in a shit ton of trouble if I tell her I was playing video games for 4 hours and that I did absolutely no chores. So give me 60 seconds to change that. Oh, well, maybe 2 minutes. While I'm doing that, go refresh your drink, grab some more water, take a pee break. Hit us up on Discord if you're not already on our Discord. It's in our profile. It's in our Twitch. Tell people, come join us. I'm trying to hit that 50 followers on Twitch because then I get my super secret club, which would be kind of cool. But I'll be back in 1 to 2 minutes. Ooh. Oh, man. All right. We are back. Whew. 117. Bones, you weren't following me on Twitch? Asshole. I gave you my Twitch Prime subscription last month, and you weren't following me? Piece of crap, man. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. All right, let's see what we got. Egnards, big fan. Ooh, we're catching up on days. You can't even sub to me yet. I need 50. I don't even think I'll even get a Twitch whatever club because I can only stream on Sundays most days, and apparently you have to stream 40 days a week and give up your firstborn in order to get that. But we'll see. Big fan. I'd like your opinion on where to go after Leia. Oh, before I do this. Oh, I did tag it. Nice. Big fan. I'd like your opinion on where to go after Leia. Fleet Arena, 8 to 10 Leviathans. A few profundities. The rest are executors, though top 40. I can usually place between 9 and 15 with low star profundity. No communication with my fleet shard. I haven't looked into it. Oh my god, look into it. Please. Please, look into it. Please. If you need the video, DM me and say, hey, where's that video? It's so easy to do. Reach out to those people, be friendly, get in on the Fleet Discord. It's so easy. I know, solo, man, you can't be on the same, you can't do that same crap with Bones. Oh, man. Oh, the Bones Fam Club. I appreciate you guys. It helps. It does. It helps a lot. I'm Broncos. I'm ride or die now. That's just how it is. Anyway, you have to look at your Fleet Discord. You have to reach out to them. You have to find out about it. It's going to help you so much. I know that you're only a low star profundity, so you might not be able to hit the top 10 right away with so many Leviathans. But as that stuff starts to go up, you'll find it so much easier and you're not going to be dropping down as much. 100% do that. Your assault battles, they look to all be in order. Places of power, military might is maybe CT3, maybe CT2. We'll check in on that. Servant, what I would recommend is even just starting one, right? It's not about getting first daily, it's about getting first daily easier. I don't know how many battles you have to do. For years, I only had to do 1 battle a day. Now it's starting to pick up, and now I have to do like 4 battles a day. And that's with a Fleet Discord. If we didn't have a Fleet Discord, I would be dropping to like 30 plus every day, and it would be such a problem. It's not necessarily about just not hitting first. It's also about knowing who you're allowed to hit when. And that sounds bad, but it just means... hey, let me hit Bones now because his payout's not for 15 hours. Let me avoid hitting Egnards because his payout is in 3 hours. Solo, I'll be around, man. We're doing a marathon today. We're getting a lot done today. So it's not just about getting first. It's also about making your journey to first each day easier or faster. Finish Leia and her ultimate. This was only 3 days ago, so this might still be pretty accurate. Relic Mall, start farming Leviathan requirements. Mafias are only the mean ones. You go to my fleet shard, they let anybody in. As long as you can get, the only rule we have is you have to be able to do it yourself. You can't, we're not going to switch things out for you. That's like the only thing. I do have Reva unlocked due to my guild, but not a fan of Inquisitors. Okay, alright, okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's switch this over. Garrus, K3, 8 million. He's hitting like 10, 15. We know that. That's fine. He's working on Leviathan. Did we get the GL alt? Okay. So we're still working on the Leia ult, which is fine. This was only 3 days ago. Okay, so Malgus and his ship. Exactly, Hever. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. My shard is the same way. Malgus. So we're a little bit away from Leviathan, based on what I'm reading here on Discord. You're about 5 to 6 months away from Malgus and his ship. Keep that in the back burner, because you do want Leviathan. So keep always going back to that and making sure that by the time you unlock it, that you'll be very close to it. But that's something to keep in mind. Let's see. Tarful. And again, because your guild is pushing Zepho, I'm gonna give you this advice that I've given other people. Bones is gonna flip out about it because he wasn't here earlier when I originally clarified my advice. So I'm gonna try and clarify it again. This was an hour ago, and maybe he'll understand. Your guild wants you to do Cal. There's no way you're getting Cal by the time his event ends, which means you're not getting him until he's permanent. which means you have 3 to 4 months until you actually need to worry about him. So if you are currently farming his requirements, other than Baby Cal, who is accelerated, stop. Stop doing it. Because you're basically wasting energy. When those things become accelerated, then start slow farming them. Not because I'm telling you to wait until they're accelerated. It's because of the way the timeline works now. And with it becoming permanent, you're essentially wasting time if you're farming them now, since there's no way you're going to get him before he loops back around in June, July. Right? So start farming those slow farm style as they become accelerated. The last ones to be accelerated, you might need to 1x refresh. That's fine if you want him right away. Baby Cal, maybe just do a couple battles a day so that you don't go signal data dead. Right? That's something we want to kind of avoid doing. We want to make sure that we always have signal data on hand. Profundity. I'm not going to tell you to start. I'm not going to tell you to start refreshing Profundity, only because you don't have access really to your shard yet to see how friendly they are. If you're getting into the top 20 right now with that, that's fine. You can get first with a 7-star Profundity against Leviathan. There are plenty of Bit Dynasty videos on it that might be worth looking into eventually, but you need to reach out to your fleet Discord. 50. Well, we'll see if Twitch allows me to access my secret club later. Let's see if that works out. And they're gonna be like, you don't stream enough. Go screw yourself. You might want to start, if you're thinking about, hey, in 4, 5, 6 months, that Leviathan is on your radar. You might want to start now on the slow farm for Mark 6 and Dagger, right? Because those things, they don't accelerate, so it's a good thing to get those kind of in the back burner now. As for what your major priority should be right now after Leia, it is Jabba. There's no other answer for you, it's Jabba. You have a good amount of GLs, you have a good backbone, you are in Kyber, you need to be able to have the ROI behind the modding. After you finish Jabba, so I would place it, your current plan is finish Leia, finish Zori, Relic Maul, start farming Leviathan requirements, start on Jabba. I'm telling you to rearrange this to finish Leia, start on Jabba, finish Zori, start farming Levy, Relic Maul, and team. That's the way that I would do it. And some of it you can do in tandem, right? They're not like you do this, then you do this, then you do this. But your highest priority is Leia, because you want to get that ultimate. Your second highest priority needs to be starting on your Jabba stuff. You can be farming Zori during that, right? You can continue farming those shards during that. That's fine. But your highest, and you can even at low gear, she does great with her Omicron and GAC. It's not going to be ideal, but it'll be usable for you, and it'll do something for you. Jabba is the priority here, though. Leviathan requirements, the ships, start farming those things now, right? Because that's going to take you 3, 4, 5 months based on where your ships are right now. So start farming those now, but don't put too much priority towards relicking things until you start finishing Jabba, until you get to that point. Then start kind of bringing those things in, because 3, 4 months down the line, Leviathan is going to be on your radar. So it's not about telling you you're wrong. It's just about saying, let's shift your priorities a little bit, and let's change those priorities a little bit. You can't be a Kyber player without Jabba. I mean, you can, technically, right? But you also can't be. Bones, I don't know. I just click things. Oh, there it is. Look, it's right here. Tools. See? No, I'm not subscribed. See all these ads? There's like nude ads and all kinds of crazy shit on my GG. Bones, the problem with me streaming so much is that I work 2 jobs, man. That's why I generally only get to stream once a week. And when I get home, I spend that time with my wife. I wouldn't be streaming today if she were home. I don't. This is not on my phone. I don't know what it looks like on the phone. I'll look for you really quick. Yeah, it's like right there. See? I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, your priorities are pretty good, and you're in a solid place in the game. I just think that you're not prioritizing Jabba enough, and you need to put him to 2nd on the list, not 5th on the list. The other things that you're doing are fine, all right. But Jabba has to have that slot. He is going to change so much for you with Smuggler's Run 2, hands down, no problem. You'll be in great shape with that. Let's see. 129. Okay. TB 129.50. What we're gonna do, because I'm doing a ton of talking, doing these roster reviews, I'm gonna leave this stuff up on my screen. However, I need to get my raid done. I gotta get that crap done. So we're gonna take a little bit of a break from me talking way too much. I gotta get my dailies done. I gotta get my my midday energy done. So this is the point in the show where we can, it's not really a show, where we can just chat. You can watch me go through my raid. I don't really prioritize it. I don't think it's very fun, but 6. You can watch my neuroses of keeping track of things. Stream first. Yeah, my wife will kill me. You know, it's funny, and I've said this before, my wife she doesn't stream, but she does make videos on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know how many videos. I don't know if she still makes them. But there's this company called Quinn, and it's essentially audio porn for women, and owned by some rich lady who was a trust fund kid. And she makes like TikTok content for that community, and she is a part of a Discord for that community. So she's constantly involved in the online stuff as well. Just it's not streaming, obviously, unless she has some kind of account that I don't know about, which if it pays my mortgage, then whatever, doesn't matter. Let's see. Next Sunday, brunch with Egnards. We'll have Conquest. Dude, if it works, I don't care. My wife, one day, like a year or two ago, my wife messaged me that some guy on Instagram was offering to pay her money for feet pics. And she asked if that was okay with me, and I was like, you do you. Like, if we're going to get our mortgage paid on you selling feet pics, I literally don't care. She was on that for maybe like 3 hours before she decided it was too much work and she was too lazy, so she stopped. But I thought it was funny. I'm not going to get a max score on this. For those of you expecting a max score, I don't remod. I just go through it fast. I go through it quick. I don't really necessarily care too much. My guild doesn't prioritize this raid at all. Yeah, I don't care. Do what you want to do. It keeps the roof over your head, especially when you have 400 kids, so it makes sense. Oh, I should pay attention to these stacks, huh? Oof. I'm surprised so many people are here hanging out with me on St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully we're all getting a little bit A little bit crunk. I don't know, man. You if you did, you'd give it out to everybody. It's just who you are. I think you'd give it out for free. You know that's true. I didn't realize it was... that's fair. I'm not over here telling people that they have to drink. I'm just into the culture of it, which sounds weird. Is this one? I think it's P. I've never done this because I've only ever manualed. I've only ever manualed the Leia one, but from what I heard, you do the evasion thing with these guys a bunch, and they do pretty good. Let's see how they do. Which one's evasion? We start with that, and then evasion. We never use that one. We evade whenever we can, right? Let's see how this works. I was listening to somebody with this strategy last week, explaining it, and I figured, hey, maybe I'll give it a try. Was it Logan? Was this Three Scoundrels Bones that you guys were talking about this? I don't remember. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 more just on my sheet of paper, and then 3 more people have been in my channel since this morning. So I have a lot of roster reviews that need to get done. Any of you that are not on our Discord, hit us up on Twitch. It's in our profile. On YouTube, it's in our profile and in the description. We have, our community has been around for maybe only 20 days at this point. We have almost 500 people there, and I am telling you that we will be the second most important server within the year. Right, we are doing some big stuff. So if you are not on our Discord, you will be missing out. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, when you guys were talking about datacrons, I was like cleaning a dojo floor, and I was like, I hate datacrons. I don't care. Get to the viewer questions. I don't even remember what the viewer question was that I asked. But I wanted to hear Logan groan about me asking it. Okay, I've heard you just basic at this point, so let's go for it. Yeah, we've been doing some pretty good progress, and Mordekhai, I think I have yours up somewhere, right? You had posted, I have it spelt wrong on my sheet, but I think I have yours here. We'll see if I get that far today. Hopefully I do. I'm hoping that I do. I want to get that far today. And this is the part where we are just going to auto. But I love listening to you guys. I really do. It's a vibe. And listening to you guys while driving upstate yesterday was a big thing. Zone, cheers, brother or sister. I also think I need 400 more viewing hours on YouTube to get my YouTube Secret Club. YouTube does not make it easy, but at least they don't require me to do things a certain amount of times a day. Yeah, man. I'm not always available, but right now I'm doing Thursday nights. I have a self-defense class I've been teaching in another town. So I've been getting home Thursday nights very late for the foreseeable future. So I usually, by the time I get home, I have been listening to you like the beginnings on Twitch just a little bit when I have the time. Let's see. Look at that. All right. I also see my drink needs to be refilled. We'll gotta solve that problem. My wife's gonna be really mad because she got these things and I'm drinking them all. It's you, Canessa. Is it Canessa? I heard you guys all pronouncing it Canessa, and I've always said Nessa because KN is like it makes sense. I don't know. I have no idea. I'd like to know if I'm saying it's stupid. Yeah, I thought it was Nessa, but everybody on Three Scoundrels was saying Canessa. They were like, Canessa this, Canessa that. Nisa, I didn't think about Nisa, but I could see Nisa being it too. Yeah, Nisa or Nessa, but I heard you guys all pronouncing it Canessa, and I was like, what the hell is this shit? Like, I mean, I know she's like a stupid character from some cartoon, but oof. Alright, once this one is over, I'm just going to sneak into the kitchen and grab myself another. These are pretty good. She is going to be mad at me later. Ugh, Urza. Yeah, I can see Nisa. I'm not against Nisa. I am against Canessa. Like, that just seems weird to me. Alright, let's see. Who's left? Is it just one? I have two. I really just need to get to 8 point whatever. So I don't necessarily care too much. I don't actually care if I get to 8 whatever anyway, actually. Betty Booze. What I am telling you guys, I'm going to leave you guys with this while I go refresh my drink, but and Bones, I know you agree with me on this. Battle for Endor. We need some Battle for Endor content. Boys on YouTube, I'm not against you guys over there. I apologize. I've been neglecting you. It seems like my multi-chat is not working, so I've been looking over here and ignoring you, and I apologize for that. But I hope everybody's having a good time. Yeah, Scott, man, I what I do because I work so much, I try to spend as much time as I can with my wife, and so Sundays I stream a little early because I'm an early riser. I wake up between 5 and 5:45 every morning. My wife is not an early riser, so I generally just stream until she wakes up, and then we go see a movie. We'll go to the AMC, we'll sneak in a few beers, we'll buy an overpriced cocktail. I'll take a nap during the movie because I've been up since 5 a.m., and it's kind of like our weekend vibe. So it kind of just happened today that she was not going to be home. Once the summer comes up, I will be more available because as an educator, during the day, I'm not usually around. I am looking forward to this summer. I am going to try my best to take the day off. Once Jar Jar comes out, I have the Jar Jar mask. It's over here. I found it. Super, super, super excited about it. I can't wait for it. I just gotta hope that I make it. You can see my road to R9, all Gungans up there. It's about 3 days out of date, but it's pretty close to accurate. Let me go refresh this. Just went into my fridge. My wife went crazy at Total Wine yesterday. She got all these crazy things. I'm excited. She comes home later. Rebel, hello. How are you doing? We're just finishing up our raid, and then we'll go back to roster reviews, because I don't think there's anything else I need to do today in the game, right? Pretty sure not. Oof. One thing you guys can do while, and I hate self-promoting, but, you know, it is what it is. Everybody knows about the event server. Everybody knows about Arnold's server. Not everybody knows about my server. And again, we are pushing to be the second most important server by the end of the year. So if you're on our Discord and you like the Discord and you see the potential in the Discord, man, drop a link in your guild Discords and say, hey, you know, this guy Egnards, who does this stuff, he's doing something crazy. Come check that out, and let's get this really solid community going. When I started the Discord, people were like, oh, you'll get like 100 people, and it is what it is. And in less than a month, I've told them all to go screw themselves, and we're almost at 5, and we've been doing some really cool stuff already. So hit that up in like your alliance chats and your guild chats or whatever else, your friend chats. Tell them this is the place that it's going. This is the place that's gonna be very soon. It's already the place to be, but very soon it's gonna be even more the place to be. I think this is the last battle I need to hit my 8, and then we can go back and get some more roster reviews done, get ourselves caught up. I already see a bunch more on there. Oof. My boy Pdaddy over here, he did a thread, which is nice. I'm looking at the Discord now to there it is. All right, so we're there. HazePlagueis, good morning. How you doing? Where are you in the, what time is it? It's 2, so 1, 12, 11. I guess it could be West Coast. It's probably West Coast. West Coasters. My guy, Moonborn, I meant to tell you, I wanted to text you yesterday, but I know where you are. My brother was telling me that him and his friends are going to Germany for Oktoberfest this year. They make a trip every year. They do like a guys trip. And he was showing me that they're all buying, what is it, the Lederhosen to wear. And I guess he's probably going to make a jackass out of himself, but we'll find out when that actually happens. Oh, Vegas. I've been twice to Vegas for the martial arts super show. It's been a while. I'm not really a Vegas person, but I want to go back for the super show and to take some of my instructors who have never been before. And I don't think they've run it in the last couple of years after COVID. 147.31. All right, let's check this out. This guy comes to me from Fat Phil's Discord, and he was on our last stream, and he was nice enough. He set up a little thread with some pictures, which I don't specifically ask for, but it is helpful. I had one main thing to ask about. I'm currently finishing off Ray, Jedi Knight Kestis, and planning going for JML soon after. After that, I anticipate being at quite the crossroads for the rest of the year. Farms. At the moment, I'm between Inquisitors, Executor, or even Jabba Leia due to all the requirement crossovers. Wondering which would be the most beneficial in the long run, especially since my guild is gearing up to do Rise of the Empire for the first time. Also, I was wondering if Comeuppance would be worth getting to 7 stars. I'm going to answer that first. Comeuppance is... I don't know the right word for it. It's a good ship, and it really does elevate Resistance. But Resistance was such a crap fleet before, and it doesn't elevate to do anything that other fleets can't do. I have not started my comeuppance farm for those last 30 shards yet because of Jabba. I will eventually. Without even looking at your account yet, I would say it's probably not worth it yet. Because you're cutting off all that signal data. But I will, we're going to look at it. So I haven't even looked yet. That's just my first thought. Let's see. Well, I'm not going with him. But he's going with his friends. I was like, all right, you do you, man. All right. So we are gonna pop this one down. Haywood, right? Just make sure it's the right account. Haywood. Chromium, almost 6 million. Actually, let's check out. Now you're not really asking for a full review here, but I do need to kind of get a picture of what's going on before I can answer any questions. Liam, yeah, Fat Phil and I, ever since doing that Tales episode, I wouldn't say we talk every day, but we've been talking a little bit about doing some other follow-up stuff in the future. He's a good guy. I'd have to go get a beer with him sometime. He's not terribly far away from where I am. It would be a little bit of a road trip, though. Marauder. Okay. Let's just see. I'm in between Executor even Javalea due to all the requirement crossovers. I can't believe you've made it to 6 million and don't have a GL fleet yet, to be completely honest. I mean, I've seen it before, but it's not something I would recommend. It's not something I would recommend people doing. So you have Jedi Knight Luke already. Rey, Jedi Knight Cal Kesses. Alright. Let's see. Cal. Seer. Just want to see if you're actually close. Oh, alright. So it looks like you probably are going to get him when he comes back around in 3 days. Which means I'll have to completely change my TB plans for people. So definitely do Jedi Master Luke with where you are. Oh. I want to check 2 things again before I answer this. No Outrider yet, and what about Razor Crest? And Razor Crest is at 7. Okay. What about the other ships? Ig. Okay. Xanadu. Houndstooth. Slave 1. Where is Slave 1? Slave 1. TIE Bomber. Oh. Thank you, Moon. Man, I did so good. Up until now. Up until now. I was sitting there and I was like, wow, I'm doing so great today. And what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I made it through 7 segments without having to mess that up, without messing it up. It was on the 8th one. This one is a little bit tough. No Outrider, has Razor Crest, mostly through. So, let's just check these guys out real quick. Boosh is close. Boosh. Leviosa. So again, not really looking for a full roster review here, and I still, your question kind of is, I anticipate being at a crossroad for the rest of the year farms after JML. At the moment, I'm between Inquisitors, Executor, even Jabba Leia due to all the requirement crossovers. What would be the most beneficial in the long run? Your guild is just gearing up for ROTE, so I would say Inquisitors are not necessarily a priority for you right now. Your guild might start asking you to do it, and then you have to make some hard choices because guild stuff is not always necessarily the most beneficial in the short run, but I just don't think it's the smartest play for you right at the moment. I do think that I was going between Executor and Profundity and trying to figure out where I should put you. But based on where your ships currently are right now and the fact that you have Razor Crest and haven't even started Outrider yet, I would definitely prioritize Executor. That is going to really help you bring yourself further in your fleet chart so that you're actually getting crystals daily. I don't think I would bring it past 5 stars though, right? Well, I mean, at 4 stars, you'll probably be getting crystals. So what I would say is I wouldn't necessarily over-prioritize bringing it to 7 stars. After Executor, I think I would 100% be doing Jabba. This is all after JML. You're right, there is a lot of overlap, but you are going to need to start Outrider in order to do Jabba. So get started on Outrider. That's a 6-month farm right there because it's a ship and it's not accelerated. You don't need to speed it up because you have to do JML first, which is what you want to do, and you need to finish up Executor. If you start to get towards the end of that and you feel like Outrider is slowing you down, which it shouldn't be since you'll have to finish the Jabba stuff anyway, then you can speed it up. I doubt you'll need to. So after you're kind of working on JML, I'd be working on like JML Executor together, work on Jabba afterwards, and then I would actually go for Profundity. And that's the one that I would maybe spend a little bit more time prioritizing in terms of star level. I wanted to suggest it to you for now, but because you don't have Outrider yet, I really want to see you get a GL ship in the next like 2 months. So with where you're at with Executor, that's going to be a little bit better for you. Jabba is pretty much one of the highest ROI characters in the game. And even though, if you watch my Tales episode, which I think you did because we chatted a little bit, if you watch my Tales episode that I did with Fat Phil, we do disagree a little bit on the ROI of different things. But one thing that we do agree on is how high of the ROI there is on on Jabba. So, you know, that's kind of coming from directly from one source, indirectly from another source, that's probably your best bet. I don't want to go much further than that just because going off of the message that you sent me is that you really are kind of not looking for a full thing. You're just kind of looking for to answer a couple very specific questions. As far as comeuppance, I don't think it's necessarily super worth it for you right now to spend tons of signal data on it. Not signal data, Cantina energy on it. It is a useful ship. You might want to, and this I've kind of talked about with Cursitan in the past, you might want to do maybe 2 or 3 battles a day. Let's just see. I don't even have comeuppance saved yet in my ships because there's just so many other things that I'm prioritizing right now. I know it's Cantina, but what node? A 10 node? So maybe just do like 2 or 3 battles a day to slowly till when you feel like you can. But I just don't see it as a priority for you. All it's going to really do is help you with Executors and Executor battles. But your Executor is going to do that once you get Executor. And that's kind of like your next big thing anyway. So no, I don't think it's a big deal for you to be getting that right now. Let's pop back to Discord. Oh, another one that does not have a lot of detail. Okay. What's our timestamp here on this one? 158. 5807. So we got, I am very TW focused account as of last year. When I return, my plan is Leia 13 to 16. All right, so we're pretty close on Leia. Ray, JML, SKL, all are like 13 to 16, but looking for TW team suggestions to build or round out, then mod check. All right, so I'm going to try to help you out. Again, PvP, not my area expertise, but I do know my way around it pretty decently. And GL teams are usually very strong here, but let's see what we can do for you and see how I can help you out. All right, we don't care about the, oh my God. Oof. 7 million, and we're still climbing with Negotiator and Malevolence. That's disgusting. That's just disgusting. That's... Oof, man. Okay. Only Sith Eternal Emperor. Alright, so here's the deal. I'm looking at your account, and we're a 7 million player, and you're a TW-focused account. But honestly, it looks like an unfocused account. So it's an account that you want to make TW focused, but we need to really round out the ROI on this account to even get there, right? Because the more that we do that, the more that you are going to be able to participate and relic up and build up characters in the future. So right now, 7 million, when I see a 7 million account that only has one GL, I kind of look at it and go, like, where have they been for the last 4 years? And if you have been, out for a long time, before you start thinking about doing that, and before you start thinking about lesser teams that are not going to help you in all aspects of the games, we need to start building out the teams that are going to help you in all aspects of the games. Rebel, we have somebody in our guild with R9 Jawas. We used to have someone in our guild with R9 Geonosis, and I promise you, I will have R9 Gungans as soon as possible. Man, this is... Alright, okay, so we have a 4-star Executor. I don't know what your fleet chart looks like. If you are a 7 million account, you probably are facing Leviathans, or should be facing Leviathans, but you haven't climbed with your Executor yet. You really do need to prioritize your fleet climb. I know you probably are like, I'm bored of it, I hate it. But those are free crystals that you're leaving on the table every day. Okay, you don't even have to if you don't want to play fleet constantly and hit first constantly, that's fine and that's fair. But your Executor, a lot of these teams that it's facing, based on what I saw before, it can probably auto them even if you do 1 or 2 battles a day. You might have to do 5 battles a day for the next week, but after that 5 battles a day for the next week, you'll be able to do 1 or 2 battles a day and still more than likely get crystals. So you need to put some priority there. As a TW player, that does not mean that you don't want to think about resource management. It just means that you're also thinking about TW Omicrons. You probably bought the Lightspeed bundles, right, for Rey and Kylo and all of these guys. Master Luke, Leia, Jabba. Okay. You're gonna want to finish SLKR. Obviously, you're just that close to it. You bought the Lightspeed bundle, most likely. I don't want to assume, but it's probably true. Do we not even have? My God, what is this account? Okay. All right. So nix what I just said. Getting more relics towards SLKR is not your highest priority right now because you have a lot of stuff that needs to go on with your ships for Finalizer. I would at the very least start slow farming the ships like Kylo Ren's command shuttle. What else do you need? TIE Silencer. You don't need TIE Echelon, but a 5-star TIE Echelon is kind of useful. HazePlagueis, it's in the Twitch, my Twitch profile. You can go on the Twitch profile and there will be a Discord link in there. I would be doing at least 5 battles a day on your Finalizer stuff. 100%. Because you're so close to SLKR, but you're also so far away because of the ship. So don't prioritize the relics, but do at least 5 battles a day on those ships to get to Finalizer. And then you can just kind of wait through the event, right? You don't have to refresh the event. Just kind of wait through the event, kind of like you're doing with Radis right now. It's kind of a trap of it looking like you're closer than you are, but you still are closer than we kind of realize. Put your priority towards Leia because you're still waiting on your shards for Rey for Radis, and that's going to take you a little bit of time. So Leia, Rey, by that time, no, you probably aren't going to even be at Kylo at that time. Leia, Rey, man, I don't. You're so close to all. Like it's like frustrating to see how close you are to things. Like you've just been scattered all over the place. I would maybe even screw Rey. I don't even care. I would do like Leia, JML, Rey, then Jabba. And SLKR just do whenever that becomes available to you with his ships. But do that as a slow farm. You're talking about being like a TW focused player and like wanting to know all these things about different teams, but you're so close to 1, 2, 3, 4 different GL, and then there's a 5th GL that's super important to you. You need to have some focus here just because that's how close you are. When we talk about like TW focus and we talk about like TW Omicrons, a lot of the times those people talking about those things are people that already have 6 to 8 GLs available to them. So they're looking for quick ways or quick teams that they can utilize. You need to build out the teams that are going to allow you to build out those teams. And that's where you are right now. Especially when we talk about things like Proving Grounds. And we talk about like Trench, who's really good in TW, right? Or we talk about DTMG, who's really good in TW. These are all teams that we want you to be able to use, and you want to be able to use. HazePlagueis, give me just a moment. That you want to be able to use, but you're not quite there yet. So I wouldn't even look at Omicron teams so much. You need to focus on the bigger picture stuff right now. And because you're so close, I honestly think you could finish out Leia, you could finish out JML, you could finish out Kylo, and you could finish out Jabba probably in the next 4 to 5 months, right? And then at that point, I mean, honestly, I would go for Profundity. But at that point, that's the point where you start to look at your TW teams. We're talking about a mod check. I can't imagine that your mods are super good on most of your teams just because you don't have any like mod ROI going on right now. Jabba is going to give that to you. And the only reason I'm not suggesting going for him right now is because of how insanely close you are to other things, right? I mean, I'm looking at some of your teams. You got some really great speed stuff at the top end, and it comes down to like, hey, like at what cost? and we go down 2 rows and we're already starting to see limiting things like, you know, plus 10 speed on things or plus 9 speed on things. Well, low grade we don't give a shit about. We're already starting to see a falling out of your mods. Jedi Knight Revan doesn't even have full mods, because you probably pulled them from some other game mode. Reva doesn't even have full game mods. You're probably struggling with that, and Jabba's what's going to help you with that. Right? You can see, like, very, very easily as we get into these things, and not even that far down, that we're not seeing the best modding because you don't have the ROI built behind that. And those are the things that those are the things that I think that you need to prioritize right now, are those like little ROI things. I'm just pulling up Twitch right now, where I'm hearing people's voices. Pop my Discord. Alright, this should help you out, guys. So if you have any asks, there it is. As far as this review right here, guys, like as I said before, you want to be a TW player, but you need to build out your account first, and you're not there yet, and you're so close to those GLs, and that's the way or the route that I would take them in order to get there. Let's see. Oh, I have to, oh, there it is, okay. Oh, good, I got one that has like actual things. So once again, I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to take a very, very quick break to go check on the laundry so that we don't get mildewy. Let's see what we got. I am a veteran player who played from almost the beginning, 2016 of the game. However, I took a break for 3 years, trying to catch up, just unlocked Executor and working towards C and Jedi Knight Cal. My top 50 fleets is full of Leviathans. Never really like ships, so my fleet is lacking. I hate fleets. I hate fleets, but they're so important. I hate fleets so much, but they are so important. You have to do it if you want to be successful in the other aspects of the game. Let's see where we at here. Rebel Roundup. Okay, so CT2 with Bounty Hunter is probably, if it was only 1 star, Forest Moon CT1, Places of Power, so probably with Sith, not with Sith, with First Order, Military Might, Ground War. The better the efficiency, the best. Alright, I like people who want to be efficient. That's a favorite of mine. Let's see where we're at. Let's see what we got going on here. Kyber 3, 7 million. How bad is this? Ugh, it's gross. This is disgusting. Like, seriously, this is disgusting. Man. Yes, you just unlocked Executor, if I read that right, so that should kind of help you out there, right? Did you yeah, just unlocked it. That should help you out there. You need to shore up your fleets. You need to at least get into the top 50. You can probably get into the top 20. I know that there's Leviathans going all the way down because you left the game for 3 years, but even my fleet shard, there's negotiators in the top 50, and there's executors in the top 10, right? So we need to kind of like shore this up to, at the very, very, very least, be hitting the top 50. Let's see what we got. Okay, all right. Leader Rey, Master Luke. Let's see about these ships. Of course, no. Dagger, Mark, Sid. Oh, actually, it's probably just Mark. No. Outrider, no. Executor. I would try to bring this Executor at least 5 stars pretty quickly. You'll find that to be relatively helpful for you. 5 stars seems to be the pre-7-star sweet spot for people. Oh, I want to check one more thing real quick. Once again, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, if you're farming these guys, you're not getting him by the time his event comes back in 3 days. So I would deprioritize him and start 1x 5 battle a day farming them as they become accelerated, because otherwise it's not doing anything for you. You're just wastefully getting them up very early for no reason. So because they're going to start being 2x farmable and accelerated very shortly, Cal already is, I would just wait till each announcement and then add those to your farming agenda, since you're going to have to wait till June, July anyway at this point. Arc Trooper, it was, I don't want to call it a urban legend. I will say this. Some people believe that because of the speed shifts, that there was a lesser chance of winning with a 6 versus a 7. And that a 5-star was the speed sweet spot. I climbed with a 6 every day. I went from 4 to 5, and then I went right to 6. And then I took a couple of months, and I never had a problem climbing with 6. I never had a problem with it. I know other people have. I don't want to say it's a full old wives' tale, because I'm not the expert on that specifically. But if there is an issue with it, it's smaller than people made it out to be. Eternal, Kenobi, Vader, Jabba. Ooh, okay. Profundity. Let's see. Fanatical Devotion, and what's the other one? Secrets and Shadows. Let's just take a quick look at these two before we make any advice. Before we give any advice is what I should say. Yeah, that was, it was never something that I ever had any trouble with. K8, I have to message you later today. I got my schedule. I have to, once I'm done, if I don't hit you up on Discord, please pester me. It's been a weird weekend, but I was thinking about that on my drive home today, and I'm glad you popped in over there. I would say here, one of the smaller short-term things that you should be doing is get Captain Rex to 7 stars. You bought the Lightspeed bundle for the Rebels, and that'll give you a very, very, very easy, a very, very easy CT1 of Secret and Shadows once you get it to like G12. You have the Omicron on him, so he's going to be a useful team for you in GAC. I find them to be useful in TW as well, and you don't have to heavily invest in him after that. So that's going to give you a 6 out of 7 on Chirotech coming in, which is going to be incredible for you in terms of your ROI. Okay, let's see. Which ones are Rebel Roundup? Forest Moon. Let's see what that's looking like. Forest Moon. Yeah, so Forest Moon, you should be able to CT3 this. Veer Stark, Piet. So this is how I did it, because I do not like my Imperial Troopers, and I really wanted to not utilize them as much as possible. Veer Stark, Piet become your core, because they're going to be C requirements anyway. I used range and Snow Trooper at G12 as well. I'm gonna imagine that yours are not like really heavily speed modded. Yeah, so you got like a 3 speed mod here. You have an offense mod instead of a speed arrow here. What I would probably do the next time Forest Moon comes around is I would remod for full-on speed just for the event. I already looked at Snow Trooper. I don't know. I'm looking at it again. I would remod for speed for this event specifically. Once you see like this too, like this speed, remod for speed just for the event. And you'll find that you can CT3 Forest Moon. Once you get the turn meter train going, it's not going to stop. The other team will not get a turn. It'll be worth the 20 minutes that it takes for you to do that. It'll be a 3-star. It'll be easy. Everybody will go home happy. In terms of efficiency, you are a prime candidate for going for Jabba, right? And almost everybody is a prime candidate for going for Jabba at this point in the game. It's going to give you that Rebel Roundup CT3, so don't worry about the CT3 on Rebel Roundup right now, or the CT2 being 1-star. But you are going to have to start Outrider pretty much right away, because that's a 6-month farm, if you don't already have it. Because I think I checked it, but my memory's fuzzy and is what it is. I can't even spell Outrider. Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought I did check it. Start Outrider now. Do C-Rex as a 5 battle a day thing. Start working towards Jabba. It's going to give you Rebel Roundup. He's going to help you in TB. He's going to help you in GC. He's going to help you in Conquest. He's going to help you in Territory Wars. And the Smugglers Run 2 event is pretty much the hands-down best ROI event that you can possibly have. Now, after you do Jabba, I wouldn't maybe take my Executor past 5-star as a speed thing, right? So you might want to go to 5 stars for speed. But after Jabba, I would seriously consider going for Profundity. You're actually not that far away from it. And I would maybe use Profundity as your core fleet that you want to take to 7 stars. Because it's going to be more future-proofed against whatever comes after Leviathan. So I think I would put more priority towards that. For you, you're not necessarily in a bad place. It's just that you're playing catch-up, and I think... catch-up. And I think that by going the Jabba Profundity route, you will have a much easier time. And looking at some of your modding, it's not in the best place. Having the big mod goals going on at that point, or the resource acquisition at that point, is going to be a significant help for you. Anything else is a trap right now. That's going to take you probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 months even, quite honestly, but I think more around the 4 or 5 amount. And then I think that you should be good. Oof, man, my throat is dry. I am going to step out real quick again, just for 2 minutes. I got to change over that laundry so that I don't get murdered later today when all of our clothing is mildewy. So grab yourself another drink. Let's see how much more of these we can knock out before I can't talk anymore. Be right back. Let's see what we got going on now. I need one of those fancy I'll be back screams. I'm not fancy enough for that yet. Soon. One day soon. Let's see. Oh, my GL messaged me. That's never good. Oh, I love these. These ones are well thought out and have things written there and they look great. Love a roster review. Fleet Arena is full of 7-star executors. 1 Leviathan. I'm consistently in the top 20. I am in contact with my shard, but to sometimes move into top 10. Okay, so you are talking to them. That's nice. Mostly CT3s. Jar Jar brother, you know me. You know what's going on here. R9 Jar Jar, R9 Gungans. It's happening. I'm ready for it. I'm pumped for it. I'm good for it. I'm a little nervous about my signal data, to be completely honest, but we're going to see what happens. Currently working to upgrade my JML, then was going to round out my Star Killer and Treya teams before pushing towards either Profundity or Gas. All advice is welcome. The more efficient, the better. It looks like for the most part, your ROI on the assault battles is nice. It kind of sucks that we're only getting into the top 20 right now, but at the very, very, very least, at least you're getting fleet crystals. Let's see what's going on here. Kenobi. 2, 6. Okay. Executor. Because it's 4 stars, so it's low gear. Yeah, we're doing, Bones, we're doing nice today, thanks to you, brother. We're doing good. I don't normally get this much time to stream on a day, and I'm like, oh, I got nothing else to do today, so let's get as many of these done as we can. If we can help people, then we're good to go. And if you're not on our Discord, what the hell are you doing? Because we are going to be the top one, or the second most important one very, very soon. Let's see. Yeah. So probably Lightspeed bundles, Leia, Sith Eternal. Alright, so we have Sith Eternal. Places of Power, Ground War, Seekers of Shadow, Rebel Roundup. You don't have Forest Moon written in here. Do you? 3, 4, 5? No, but I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. What button? What button are we talking about? Cheers, Liam. The event server is obviously the most important Discord server, and I'll never discredit them. You may not be on it, you might not be using it, but the event server is definitely the most important. Ours will be the second most important by the end of this year. Mark my words, it's going to happen. Maybe not the second biggest. It will be the second most important. Bones, I'd love for you guys to be over here with me, but I know that Logan would never go for the name of my server, and I just can never, ever, ever, ever change that. So we're going to have to just always remain separate. Okay. Well, obviously you have Bosch because you have Leia. What kind of dumbass am I? And I checked her again like an idiot. Alright, let's see what we got. Starkiller and Treya teams. So we did that. Jabba. Treya, Profundity, Gas, Cal Kestis. Alright, let's see what we're doing with that. I would be down for that. We could chat about that. We could talk about that later and we could figure that out. I'm sure Bodhi would know how to do. I mean, I know how to do that too, that kind of stuff. I have no problem throwing a notification channel on Slice of Otagunga. Yeah, Liam, we did the raid a little bit earlier. I've done, let's see, what do we got for roster reviews today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 10th one of the day. My record is 10 in a day, so we're going to at least get 11 today, just for shits and giggles. Separatists, okay. May, alright. What our 501st look like? What do our Jedi look like, I guess is a question. Liam, what I want you to do, if you want a review, I'm not kidding, like I have a huge line of people that ask me for these things. Pop on our Discord. My Discord is in our Twitch profile. And I basically have a survey. It's a very quick survey. Some people just ask for ally codes. I kind of do a little survey because it helps me to help you a lot more than to just know your ally code. Get in that line. If I get to it today, get to it today. If I don't get to it today, I'll always tag you guys and let you guys know when I've done one so that you're able to see it and kind of look at it. Jedi. We have Revan. Okay. You said, oh, okay. There's Jedi Master Luke. So we're still working on it. So we are Zeta poor, is what's going on. We are Zeta poor. Okay. All right. We are fucked for Zetas right now. So I want to tell you to go for Jabba right now. I want to say that. But I'm not going to say that. Because you are so behind on Zetas, it's going to take you a while to get JML Zetaed up. And then you're going to have to save for Jabba. And that's going to be a problem for you too. I would say start Outrider now. Okay, you're working on JML, you're finishing him up, you're trying to get the Zetas on him. Start your Outrider now as a slow farm, and actually start working on Profundity now. Alright, because even though there are Zetas I'd put on those teams, I love my Rogue One team. I've been using it to beat Darth Trooper, Moff Gideon. In GAC and with the Omicron it's a little, or the Datacron it's a little bit iffy, but it overall does work really nicely. There are Zetas I'd want to put on those teams, but the end result, the Profundity, doesn't necessarily need Zetas in the short term. You're going to need them for speed later. You're not going to need it in the short term. So I'd actually say start your prioritizing towards Profundity now with Outrider. I would say go after Jabba after Profundity, which is the opposite of the advice that I normally give, right? I normally say go Jabba, then Profundity. I'm telling you go Profundity while you rebuild your Zetas, then go for Jabba, because it's going to help you with your modding significantly. I think at that point, if you want to take a break to do Starkiller Traya, that's fine. At that point, if you want to take a break to do Gas, that's fine. But Gas is also very Zeta heavy. You need 4 on him to max him out. And if you want to use him with his 501st, some of them are going to need Zetas as well. And, I mean, you might have them, but because yours are low gear, I can't, yeah, you don't have them yet. So you're taking on very Zeta heavy projects. I think the smart way to do it is to get Executor to 5 stars, because that's where it really shines until 7. Then slow farm the rest of those shards. Don't worry about bringing it to 7. Prioritize Profundity as your solid fleet. So that means start on Outrider shards now. 5 a day, that's it. That's all you need for right now. Do Jabba after that. After Jabba is done, that's when you should start working on your little team. So if you want to break from GL farming, which I get, right? You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll have 6 at that point. If you want a little break from it, that's fine at that point. That might be a good time to work on Treya. That might be a good time to work on Starkiller. That might be a good time to work on Gas. But I think the sooner you start really getting fleet crystals more consistently, or better amounts of fleet crystals, Profundity will help you even just with GAC. And Jabba's going to help you with modding everything with all of these projects that you want to outfit, that you currently are struggling to be able to outfit. So this is kind of a case of, I don't think you're necessarily on the wrong path, but I do think you just kind of have to like tweak it just a little bit. All right, we're gonna move on from there because that one is not so bad. Let's see what my GL said before. Okay, that has nothing to do with anything here. All right. Mordekhai, I really had no idea. I don't know. Are you still here, man? I have no idea. I love when people are here because then I can ask them questions. If you're not, I'll tag you on it later. It's fine, but let's see. What does Mordekhai say? Oh, there you are. Perfect. Bought a couple. Oh, you know what? It jogged my memory. We were talking 2-3 days ago. Gotcha. Now we're going. We're still going, Xavier. We're still going. We are on roster review number 11. I've never done more than 10 in a stream. So we are breaking an Egnards record. I don't know what the record is for roster reviews in a single stream. But for me, it is a record. Let's see. Fleet Arena, I bought a couple of Lightspeed bundles, or if I should change some of my farming plans. Fleet Arena, 10 7-star Leviathans, 5 to 6 Profundities, 1 Chimera in a pear tree, a couple Negotiators, and the rest are Executors through top 50. Sometimes I'm able to be top 100 with a Trixie fleet, but I'm not sure if I'm even running the optimal version. For me, I'm waiting until I'm closer to Executor before I try to find my fleet Discord. Yeah, your fleet Discord is going to tell you to screw off until you have a GL fleet anyway, so that's that's for the best, waiting until you're at that point. Salt battles. Okay, you have all of the important ones. So you have them at CT1. We want to try to round this up a little bit, but we're good. I haven't been refreshing any nodes. Farming plans. Finishing 7-star my troopers. Range should be finished tomorrow. Farming Kylo Ren Command Shuttle, Outrider, Jedi Knight, Anakin Ship for GS, TIE Defender, Rebel Y-Wing, Farming Droid Deca, Shakti, B1 Battle Droid for... Okay, for General Skywalker. That confused me for a second, but now I get it. Using Cantina for signal data, for OG Kylo, and PAL for SLKR, since that seemed closer than C. Forgot about needing Finalizer until last week, but if SLKR isn't worth it, I honestly don't mind just leaving my FO where they are. CTR, cheers, brother. This is... this is the Church of Egnards, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I realize that comes off that way, and that's kind of what I do. I just offend everybody. It's the Egnards way to just offend everybody. Let's see. Struggling, progressing through normal conquest, 4th crate, but I still think I got lucky with data discs, and I don't think I'm able to do any PGs currently. I'd like to set myself up better for those 2 modes. Currently, none of my farming is set in stone. That's just what I thought would benefit me the most. SLKR can actually do most of the proving grounds. Not necessarily clean, and not necessarily always with his first order team. But he can do pretty much all of them. I only say pretty much all of them because Fury is coming up in the next one, and that'll be the first time Fury is there. I have no idea, if it'll be able to do that one. But let's take a look here. Let's take a look-see, shall we? Take a look-see. 4 million. Let's check out Finalizer. Six Zetas. I'm starting to get a glare on my screen at the very bottom of my chat, which is very annoying. One Omicron. No, you're good on Omicrons. Don't worry about those too much. Let's just check out where we are with some of these. Okay, command shuttle's coming up. Nice. Silencer's there. First order tie. Okay, so you're not that far from SLK or from Finalizer. You know, I would definitely work towards that. I wouldn't. You have 6 Zetas now. You're not gonna have 6 Zetas soon, so I would not over prioritize. I would just do my 5 battles a day and let that kind of let that happen naturally as much as possible. Even after you get the Finalizer event, I would just let it roll around every 2 weeks instead of worrying about speeding it up, because at that point when you have everything for him, you can move on to something else while you're waiting for those events to kind of happen. Where's Outrider? Outrider's pretty close. I wanted to check another ship, but I can't remember its name. Oh, I know what I wanted to check. Razor Crest is getting there. Buy those shards up, definitely. Oh, let me check the other ships there. Okay. Yeah, you're close here. Did you buy this one? No. Okay. Executor. Profundity. So when you get Kylo, you will be able to 3-star, not 3-star, you'll be able to CT 3 places of power. It won't be 3-star. Finishing my troopers. Let's see where our troopers are at. Still working on them. Okay. What about these guys? Secrets and Shadows, let's see. Phoenix. Yep. It will never be 3-star with First Order, but at least you can do it, and at least you can do it mostly on auto, so you can kind of walk away from it. Alright, so you bought the Lightspeed bundle here. So, I'm assuming the last time we talked was before the Rebel Lightspeed bundle. Before that even came out. Am I correct in saying that as I go through this? Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Military might. Let's see our rebels one more time. One, two, three, four. Where is Chupio? You should be able to do CT2 once you get... I'm going to be honest, you can probably do CT2 right now if you mod correctly. The first time I did CT2 of Military Might, Chupio wasn't even a thing yet, and I did it with R2D2 being my only relic, and he was at Relic 2. It did take some trial and error to get it done, but if you remod for that, you can probably do CT2 without too much issue with R2 instead of Chupio. Now, with that said, your Chupio is almost done, so you might want to just wait, and that'll make it easy enough where you're not going to have to worry about it that much. I really think that I'm inclined to say that because we talked before the Lightspeed bundles actually came out, and you obviously did buy the Lightspeed bundle, that you might actually benefit more from going for Profundity over Executor, because that kind of jumped a bunch of your rebels up there so that it's a little bit easier for you to move past that. And now they're kind of caught up to each other, and you have been working on your Outrider anyway. So if you continue to work on your Outrider, you will be in a place where you'll find, you know, you're actually like closer to Outrider being done than you are closer to, oh my god, to Razor Crest being done. So I think that you might want to pivot your effort towards Profundity. And that might require some crystal saving because you are going to need an R9 Radis. I'm having trouble reading with this freaking glare. Yeah, you look at the ships for Profundity and make sure that you're doing at least 5 battles on each of them every day. I think you'll be at a point where you're not going to have to speed them up at all. Especially because you're probably going to need to save some crystals in order to get like Radis to R9. Right? Like you don't even have Radis unlocked, right? No, wait, no, I have, no. Okay. You don't even have Radis unlocked right now. But I would pivot away from Executor and work towards Profundity because of those Lightspeed bundles coming out. If you choose not to, it's not necessarily a wrong move, right? I just think that it maybe is a little bit of a smart shift. A lot of people say start a farm, finish a farm. I don't agree with start a farm, finish a farm. I think in a lot of cases it's the correct thing to say, but I do think that there are times when it's smart to pivot. And because we're looking to see another fleet shift soon, Profundity is going to be a little bit more future-proof than Executor. And you can always go back to Executor and start starring that up slowly as you get ahead a little bit. So it's not like you're going to be in a problem situation with that. Yeah, Enigma CT3 of Secrets and Shadows is really tough. You definitely need Merrin if you don't have Merrin, and if you do have Merrin, you're still going to need some pretty decent relicking. I think here's what I would do. I think I would shift myself after SLKR. So basically you're going to be at a point where you're waiting for SLKR because of the finalizer event. And you're kind of getting close to that point anyway. And when you get to that point where you're waiting on SLKR, start on Profundity, start on Jedi Master Luke. Jedi Master Luke will be the best thing you can do for yourself for Conquest. He'll help you with Ground War to get to CT3. He'll help you with Military Might to get it to CT3. He's just an overall strong GL to have. he's going to work into Jabba. You're a prime case, take that shift and switch it. Now, you might be like, oh, I spent all this time working on these guys, but you know what happened? It's kind of like you bought a $20 thing, and that $20 thing completely changed who you are, and you're going to come back to that stuff later. So the time wasn't wasted, but we can't guess on Lightspeed bundles. We never know what ones are going to come out, when they're going to come out, if they're going to come out, if they're going to be gifting only. We have no idea at any given time. So I think as you're starting to finish up SLKR, you should be looking into Profundity, you should be looking into Jedi Master Luke, and then you should be looking to go into Jabba. And I think that pivot will give you a strong foundation. She'll give you a strong foundation for being able to do whatever you want afterwards. Enigma, I mean, it depends on the relic levels. The one thing about CT3 is when you do Secrets and Shadows, before Merrin, it took like 15 minutes to get from phase 1 to phase 4, and it was a slog. Merrin makes it so that phase 1 to phase 4 takes like 2 minutes. All my Night Sisters are R8. I've seen CT3 done as low as R3 for most Night Sisters, but it is going to require some really heavy modding and just a little bit of luck to make sure that the right people survive Sidious so that you can rebuild them all. But it's not an event, going from CT2 to CT3, it's not an event that has a high ROI. So it's not something I'd prioritize unless you're seeing like, oh, hey, I want to utilize my Night Sisters more. It took me maybe an hour with my Night Sisters. I think they were like R5 at the time, to be able to do that event. And it took me a little while. And now I'm on the Night Sister train. And it was worth it for me. So for Mordekhai, I think that's the path that you need to go on. Is Profundity, Jedi Master Luke, Jabba. I think that's gonna set you up really, really solidly. And you know where to find me. You know me on Discord. You know where I am. So you know, and our Discord community has been really great. We got some really, really great people that are there that are very active and willing to answer questions for people. So do what you got to do. But I think you'll be in good shape having bought those bundles. And I'm always around. You can always DM me, but again, because I see so many rosters, it is really hard. Like the next day, I'm like, I don't even remember a roster. I have to go back and look at it. When you put it on the Discord in like the general chat, I do look at it, I do read them, I do answer questions, but there are other people that are very helpful too, and who have a very similar philosophy to me, and it's sometimes nice to get some discussion value, not just a, hey, this is what you're going to do. So I appreciate having that as an option. So with that said, that is roster review number 11. There are like 6 more in my tank right now. The next one should have been my last one, but I see so many people have been posting in that chat. I need to catch up with it. My throat is dry. I can barely talk at this point. I am going to call it a day for the day. Also because of this glare, I can't even see my screen anymore. So it's been hard to read the chat for the last 15 minutes. I appreciate so many people coming out and joining us today, and helping me out with getting my Twitch stuff done and keeping me company while I do these reviews and keeping me honest by telling me things, and I'm learning things from you guys. If you're not on Discord already, again, we are going to be the second most important Discord by the end of this year. I recommend hitting us up. It's in our YouTube profile. It's in our Twitch profile. do me a favor, share it with your guild, share it with your alliance, tell them, hey, listen, Egnards, by the way, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do this together, and it's going to be crazy. And as a final thought, guys, I have the Jar Jar mask. I got the Jar Jar mask. I'm super pumped. We're doing R9 Jar Jar day 1 as long as I can get the crystals to do it. And I'm kind of getting there. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little antsy. But we're going to make it happen. I have the mask right over here. I stole it from my brother's house. I'm excited about it. So with that said, everybody, I appreciate it, and have a great day, and I'll be on Discord probably the rest of the day, and I'll